How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another Monday live stream. Still a bit under the weather, but that's not gonna stop me. I want to know a couple things. How you guys doing? Did you have fun this weekend with your wing? Hi, Chris. Okay, first, don't be afraid to say hi. Say hi in the chat. We're all here together to have fun. Patrick. Bonjour, Patrick. Everybody else in the chat, also make sure to like this video. If you are now live with us, like this video so it tells YouTube to send invitation to other people that may or may not be interested in what we're doing here. Who knows? Tim. Hey, Tim Miller. Welcome. I think it's been a long time. If you've been around, if you ever been around, I know most of the people who watch these live streams. But good to have you around, Tim. Also, Tobias, hi. Welcome to another Monday live stream. Rolf, as always, one of my greatest, longest, most always there guys. Rolf, thank you very much for being here. Andy, always a pleasure to have you around. Who else? Chris said hi. Daniel Polo, hi. Hi, Daniel. Welcome. Where you guys are from? If you want to let me know in the chat, it's always surprising to me to see how far we're reaching. Actually, I have somebody who reached to me last week to do an online lesson, a private online lesson. I offered that on the side of the YouTube channel. He is in Australia. So we're basically global right now. We're going around the world. Tim, so you're in Florida and you're thinking about treating yourself with this Christmas with a wing. Well, you won't regret it, honestly. I've been a wing owner for a long time now, and I'm really happy with my console. I think a lot of people in the chat also here are really happy with their console. Guys, let him know. Let Tim know if you like your console or not, and if you don't, well, we can talk about it. This is why we're here. We can maybe find some solution for you. But if you do like your console, or Tim, actually, if you have any question, stuff that you're not 100% sure about your wing, please let us know. Maybe together we can help you out figuring out if the wing is a right console for you. Now, as you can see, I'm EQing my microphone because I changed the mic. I'm back to the Bayer MC840. Not really anything against the SM7B, but I just feel that the no microphone in the shot looks better for the show here. Your opinion, your call, guys. If you want to see the SM7B come back, but I think I'm more happy with this one. The overall result is a cleaner option this way. So yeah, apparently I'm global. Thank you, Daniel. I can globally show to people that I leave my hot coffee laying on my console. The invisible Bayer dynamic is better. Yes. Actually, I want your opinion on something, guys. Those of you who have experience in the cinema field, this whole video thing for me is totally new. Like before 2020, I never touched a video camera in my life. Never experienced with capturing sound for broadcasts. I've experienced with shotgun microphone a little bit. As for crowd mic, for inner monitoring, when I'm doing inner monitor for bands. But do you think it's a better idea to have a shotgun mic in a situation where I am right now versus the MC840? Because the MC840, I'm going to bring it down on the screen so you guys can see. It's a studio vocal microphone, a high-end one, and it has, a couple of pattern on it. Right now I'm running it in cardioid mode. It's picking up a lot of room, stuff around it, but do you feel it will be better? Excuse the noise here. Do you feel it would be better if I'm getting a shotgun mic? Somebody in my local ads is currently selling a Bayer Dynamic, because I'm a Bayer Dynamic fan, shotgun microphone, and I just wondered, what do you think? Is it going to be better? Is it going to give me a better overall result versus this microphone, or I'm just going to spend $200 for nothing? Your opinion. I know we have some people who, why don't you try to just the shotgun? Because it's $200, Ralph. This is why. I would need to spend $200. So, yeah, this one's just fine. Actually, right now, I'm rethinking my whole setup in my whole house, because for those of you who follow my personal life, I've just recently split, and I'm buying back my house. And now that it's my house, personally mine, I'm just gonna run Cat 5 everywhere. I'm gonna pimp my house. If that's those of you who remember the TV show Pimp My Ride back in the day, back in the 2000s. I want to do the same thing with my house. So no, I don't want to put LED screen everywhere, but I want to do some network installation for stuff. Hey, Pancho, you're late to the party, but more than welcome, as always. The mics sound amazing. Alan, thank you very much. Hey, Alan. Hi. Okay, Daniel, give me a second. I'm going to finish that. I'm going to finish my little story, and we're going to go diving into this. So basically, yeah, I want to cut down on some stuff. I want to simplify some stuff and also expand on others. So less gear that doing the job, go more precise with other stuff, like putting Raspberry Pi on all my TVs and probably building a Plex server. Hold on. This is live, and I'm sick, or a little bit left sick from last week. I'm feeling way better, guys, actually. Okay. Now, a lot of me talking about my house and stuff like that, stuff that you guys don't care, and we're going to move on and answer Daniel's question. Please walk me through setting up routing to record SD card. You're struggling with that. Okay, so camera switch time. Let's go here. It's going to happen in routing. We're going to go into output. Sorry, I'm taking this one as we're going. Is it this one? Yeah, I'm always mixing the two pages because this one is WREC, this one is WPlay. So we're going to go WREC, and you want to record some stuff on this SD card. So we're going to come here, select the first one, unlock the patch, and on the right, this is where you're going to select what you want to record. I'm going to guess you're going to use some kind of stage box, so AS50, A, B, or C, and this is where you're going to patch or physically connect those virtual wire input to output. So this is going to be what the WREC will record. This is your source. So right now I'm going to do it the other way around so we can have some video meter. I'm going to do it with my local, and I'm going to say local. In channel 1, I'm going to record my local 8, which is my microphone. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm speaking into this microphone right now. Sorry. I don't speak English. You guys should know that. Also, on the other card, 63 and 64, I have my main out, which is what you guys hear on the YouTube stream. So, just so you know, input 1 to 32 is the first SD card. Input 33 to 64 is SD card number 2. You can record 64 input at the same time, as long as you have them patch and selected. You can have multiple copy of an input, so you can use like my microphone everywhere if I really wanted to. Let's go here with this. I could patch my mic everywhere. Now, in the SD card section, I'm going to click on top here. You can see when I'm speaking that I have VU meter. So that means that we have some stuff going to the SD card output. If you press record, it's going to create a new track. I'm going to do it. Creating a new track. There we go. Blah, blah, blah. Recording test 1, 2. Recording test 1, 2. There we go. We got to press stop. And that's it. To play back that SD card, I have a couple options. Actually, you can take that card, plug it into a computer, use the DAW of your choice, and import the single file into a 32 track. I want to say that right. It's going to be a 32 channel of audio from a single wave file. Make sure in your DAW that you export it as separate track, but on the SD card itself is just a big file. Once it's imported, just drop it in your DAW. It's going to be split. You can mix it like any multi-track. But if you want to do virtual sound check, what many people want to do, you now have to go one step further in your playback. We're going to go back into routing. We're going to go into the channel section this time, actually. We're going to go alternate channel. And this is where you want to patch the W Live Play 1-to-1. So, W Live Play. Right now, I have other labels. They do not follow what you have on the screen. So if I go here and I press play on that, I press play. I have. Oh, maybe that's the wrong one that is playing. Hold on. Is it the good one? It's the good one. Okay, so it's looping back, which is fine. Okay. So as you can see here, I have 8 input playing from the SD card. Let's go back into routing. I don't know why it's doing this. Oh no, it's because it's on USB. Me dumb. W Live Play. There we go. So the channels are gonna come back. Unlock the patch. Here, the channel is gonna come back 1 through actually 8 or 9. How many did I patch? 9. Yeah, 9. So the 9 channel need to be assigned again to the alternate input, which will allow you to quickly switch between your stage box, which is probably plugged into the main, connected or patched into the main input of the channel. And when you want to switch, you go to alternate, and this is where you're going to select your W Live Play. So if I go here, unlock the patch, +1, here. Is it doing it? Yes, it is. Just be careful with the stereo input, and yeah, that will be fine. I hope that answered your question, Daniel. And just to show you actually how to do this on the console itself, once you play back your file like I have right now, if I want to go over, if I want to switch between my main input and my alternate input of every single channel, meaning main out is what you assign probably your live band, and alternate your playback from the SD card. You want to go into setup, you want to go into alternate mode, and make sure that manual auto input select. I'm just going to select everything here. I believe this is the right way to do it. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't do a lot of virtual sound check. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna put the preamp into main and alternate, so that way if I ever switch between main and alternate, it's the same thing. You can also apply the main and alternate per channel. If you want to go into your channel, second menu, main, select your AS50 input, and on alternate you can come here, probably select your live playback, select the right channel for that one. To avoid confusion, I would suggest you to label your stuff correctly. You will save a lot of time. So to do that, you go into source. You can apply your W Live Play label. See, I have way too much stuff going on right there. Actually, I need to clean up this session because after doing, live after live after live, it's saving. Try to go in there and just label all your stuff. Like your W Live Play. If you do a recording for a band, take time to record your stuff, or to copy the same input patch, or take time to label your stuff is going to be so much easier for you and avoid confusion, because the level of complexity of the wing depend on how you want to use it. And if you start to just, everything is not one-to-one like we were used to with sound console back in the day, where you didn't have the option to have, one channel being two input, meaning being a stereo input. So to avoid confusion, take time, label your stuff, over kick snare, overhead left and right when you have a stereo source, or just label it overhead. That way you're going to save a lot of trouble. So I hope, Daniel, that answered your question. I hope you're less confused. If I'm not clear, or if I don't know, skip a step or something, let me know. But I believe I did that right, guys. Let me know. Everything okay in the chat? I'm gonna start to do like those big streamer and call you guys chat. Is this okay? Have I done something wrong? Let me know, because you're really good at that. Okay. Let's go back to that chat. What's going on here? Do I have anything close in my collection? You mean, what are we talking about here, Rolf? Are we talking about a shotgun microphone? No, I don't. Well, actually, I have some shotgun microphone, but really bad ones. So, maybe not. Chris did a similar thing with Reaper this weekend, where when going to alternate to try to play back, I was getting feedback from all input. Really? Oh, because, yeah. No, you didn't need to unarm in Reaper, but you were, you had the monitor active. So you were basically feeding from the preamp back out, and create that looping stuff. So I believe this is how you basically created a internal feedback. But it should be easy it should work easily with Reaper. I don't know why you had a problem there. Working for you, Daniel? Great. I hope it's going great. Monitoring into Reaper. Yes, you probably had that enable, and it was going in, out, into. Maybe it's just one input, But it's strange, because usually it's pretty easy to set up, Chris. Jason, hey, what's up? Hi. Good to have you back, my friend. Yeah, do some investigation on that, Chris. I'm pretty sure well, actually, I don't see how you could create digital feedback other than having the monitoring. Not being wrong, but being enabled without you knowing it. It's the only thing that I can see that can create that. Because, actually, my other question is, were you using user signal, or were you using the preamp only? Because if you use the preamp only, interesting. Or maybe you had something sending from USB out to USB back in, or because the USB 1, channel 1 and 2, this is by default aux 1. This one right there. Maybe if you had that feeding back into, no user, so maybe check for monitoring, or check for the USB going in. Actually, sound coming in, going back out to USB, or, looping around. So I'm pretty sure you did a loop somewhere. Daniel, where can I get recorded session file to play with? I would not know, because I do not have any file that I can share right now, because out of respect to bands that I'm working with, I just don't share their session, because most of the time it's live meaning there's some mistake there, some stuff that are not proud of, or some stuff that have been said with microphone really far away, but if you crank that up, you can understand some bad lingo being told to other people in the front row, people in the band, or so out of respect for most of the band, I do not share my personal session, but I'm pretty sure there's some stuff online or somebody did a recording that he doesn't mind to share, and you can have fun with. I'm sorry, Chris. What are you talking about? The Telefunken Studio, Cambridge Sound. You were there with the wing? Is that... Hold on. I'm not really big into studio and stuff like that. Is that a studio in New York or... Oh, no, for tracks. Okay. But are they... Okay, can you send a link in the chat for that? I actually never took the time to do this. Okay, so Patrick is also saying the same thing. They provide multi-track. Okay, is there a way, and I'm going to ask Patrick about that because I'm not sure. Is there a way to build a playable file for your wing? Let's say you take a song. Can you take a song and use that to be a multi-track single file being played on an M32. Sorry, I'm reading the other comment on the wing. Speaking of buying a Midas or a wing for Adrian, I would say the wing. You have more option, a more up-to-date console. Okay, X32 Wave X Live. Is that a software that you're providing, Patrick? Is it free? Where can people get that? And actually, speaking, if you guys want to know of what I'm talking about when I say Patrick software, he's doing software for the X32 in the wing. If you want to expand a little more using a computer on the option that you have on the wing, I'm not talking about plugin here. I'm talking about functionality for Reaper, multi-track, enable stuff. Go check out Patrick's website, x32ram.com, x32ram.com. He's got a lot of cool software. Go have a look. He's got a bunch of those for automation, go take a look, guys. And also, go buy his software because he's helping you guys a lot in the chat right now. He's always there answering questions. Please go give him some of your hard-earned money because he's working really hard on those software, and I think you deserve it. As much as you guys deserve to have really good software to accompany your wing and M32, X32, other console of those family. But yes, Adrian, personally, I would buy a wing because I used to own a M32R. Actually, I own the first X32. Did I upgrade to the M32? I probably never owned myself at M32, but I'm working with those a lot. I owned a M32R back in the day. I bought one and build my own case and everything. I would never do that again. It took me like 3 days to build that freaking case. Nope. And now I got the wing, and I'm really happy with the wing. The only upgrade I would do from the wing is to go, if it ever get released, HD96 Air, which is a really smaller version of the HD96. Cost-wise, it would make sense to me. Footprint-wise, it would make sense to me. But other than that, yes, wing all the way. It's currently one of the best option on the market under, I would say, $50,000. I don't see anything, well, other than like a Midas Pro Series. So $15,000 or less console is one of the best stuff that you can buy, and it's like $4,000 or $5,000 right now, depending on where you live in the world. Some comment on Facebook placed the wing at the HD96 level. Yeah, it's pretty much the next contender in line, if you ask me. Of course, you have some other console option, but let's forget about the Yamaha CL-QL series. This thing, they are discontinued, and they don't offer a lot of flexibility. It's an easy console to work with. They sound fine. A little too bright, if you ask me, but they sound fine. Other than that, you have do Digico offer a small console that has 48 channel? Because I don't want to go into the stereo stuff. I would just say 48 channel. The Allen & D Live, yes, it's in the same ballpark, but the only thing is, and I do not necessarily agree with that, the console itself doesn't come with plugin. You have to buy them, and you cannot yourself buy the plugin. You have to buy the plugin for the console, and they follow the console. So you take your console, you had $500 to $1,000 worth of plugin, and if you ever sell the console, you cannot keep those plugins. You sell them with the console. I do not really agree with that business model, if you ask me, because let's say, as an example, the Wing, every time there's a new plugin available, it's just in there. You will have eventually the option to get something like a wave card if you want to have external plugin, which probably you can get with the D Live or the, hold on, is it the SQ67, whatever, 567? Sorry, guys. You can have those options as external plugin, I'm pretty sure, but I would not know like how comparable it is to the Wing feature-wise, because I think the Wing offer a little bit more. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but yeah, Allen & Neat is not a bad option. I'm not a fan of the sound of their console. I think it's really cold. It's like really cold. It's really precise. I'm a fan of Midas preamp, so right there, this is why the Wing got me going, because I can use my DL251 with it. Try to beat that. Try to beat that sound. Let's say together a DL251 and a Wing. It's a $10,000 price range. Find something with 48 physical input, 16 output, plus the local that can beat that feature-wise and option-wise for the price. I think the Wing is the winner looking at it from this perspective. Maybe there's an SD something from Digico that will do it, but other than, brand wise, other than Digico and Midas, well, actually to me Digico and Midas are the two big player in those console. Maybe you can think about having something like the Wave stuff, because right now they offer a hybrid system that you can build where you have a touchscreen with fader, and it's fine. But yeah, those are the two big player, I believe, in those rank. But money wise, nothing can beat the Wing so far, if you ask me. Yeah, flexibility in pricing and tone. Honestly, tone. I'm a big fan of Glenn Fricker. If you guys are on YouTube, you know who I'm talking about. If you're a little bit into YouTube, you know Glenn Fricker, or you've seen a video of this guy. I'm a big fan, not of the aggressive persona that he has, but he's backing up stuff with proof. And I want to figure out a way to back up my saying, but with the sound of the Midas, and I cannot explain it. I want to put, I don't want to say it sounds better, because sounding better is objective. It doesn't mean anything. Why is it easier to mix with Midas DL251 preamp? For some reason, when you mix with these preamp, could be the Wing, could be a Midas Pro. Actually, it's easier to do on a Midas Pro. Why everything is just getting together easier? I do not have my guitar fighting with my lead vocal. I do not have, all those common issue that I hear with the X32 stock preamp and other console, like especially, if we're talking about Yamaha M7CL, which was the big player at the beginning of the digital game, it was so hard to mix on these consoles because the amount of processing that you were adding to the console make it sound more like garbage on the master route. So yeah, not a big contender for me. Nothing. Well, it's really hard to beat Behringer and Midas for the price, for the quality that you get for the price. Even the HD 96. I've seen it, I've heard it, I never mixed myself a show on it, but from what I've seen of the demo, it's awesome. And it's a fair competitor to the Digico, to whatever. Do you know about anything like a software mixer PC only that is usable in live situation? I think the Wave stuff. If you ask me, Rolf, I think the Wave stuff offer a software mixer that is usable in live situation where it can create kind of your own console out of nowhere. Recently I've done some integration into a room that is just run by itself, and on the software itself, on those rack server that they had, there were some kind of DSP processing that allowed me to build my own routing and stuff. It was not built like a console in the sense of I did not have a gain, an EQ, aux, and a fader, though I could create it myself, and I could get a decent amount of track without running of digital processing, but it's, other than the Wave stuff, I don't think there's any like PC only stuff that you can use in live situation. I've done myself some show with Logic and my sound interface. I have an Audient IDE 44 for microphone input audio interface, and I've done some show with that because it's just working. And I have also aux on that, but I didn't use any EQ, nothing. It was basically like a fancy matrix routing where I had microphone coming in, preamp. I had a low cut on every single of them, but I had, one mic, one acoustic guitar, another mic, and a stomp box. I could do a 4-input gig with that, do 2 monitor mix on it, but no EQ, no nothing. But that will work. And just to add one more, a little bit more texture, I was using Logic from my computer just to add reverb on that, and it was working, but it's really like small stuff. That's my experience. The Midas design preamp of Behringer is mainly based on the JRC 4580 chip, which is the same chip as the RME Fireface preamp, which is a reference for studio application. I would not know anything about that, honestly, but I believe that actually no, the design by Midas preamp are the XL4 preamp that were converted to Behringer design, meaning, guys, tell me if I'm wrong in the chat or not. The Behringer version is actually the same drawing on the PC board, but it doesn't use the same kind of component or same quality of component. Maybe it's a little dumbed down version of the XL4 or the DL251 preamp, but I believe this is the only difference, is one is built with really high quality converter component overall, where the Behringer one is the cheapest available component that do the same thing. Guys, let me know. But this is my interpretation of the design by Midas preamp, meaning that it's exactly the same design build with cheaper component, which cut down the cost by a lot, because really good quality capacitor and condenser cost a few cents, let's say 10 cents per small unit, where the cheapest one available cost like half of a cent per unit. So on a larger scale, it makes a big difference when you're thinking about all these all these component on a console. You know, if your base cost is a few dollar versus a few $100, that would make the difference. Man, as I see online, they have the same preamp but different analog digital conversion chip. Oh, maybe there you go. So I'm gonna guess it's the cheapest version of those chip, or same version of this chip that can do the same thing, but again cost a fraction of a cent versus 10 cents or 15 cents per component. So you reduce that by a lot. I believe this is how they save and can make, like, think about it. The X32 is like $2,000, or in Canada right now, you can get an X32 used for $2,000. Add 500 and you have a case. It's really cheap for the amount of stuff that you get, and it's not a bad sounding console. There is better option, but it's not a bad sounding console. I'm still working almost every week with an X32 because one of the band that is hiring me is bought their own X32 back in the day, and we're using that for monitor. I'm the monitor engineer on that gig, and I'm just made do with the X32. It's working. Sorry guys, I mute myself when I'm coughing to save your guys here. Okay, maybe I will cut down on this stream a little bit today because, sorry. It's taking me a lot of energy, even if I rest pretty much the whole day, the whole weekend. I had 2 days off. It's been a really long time since I had 2 days off. Waking up with no alarm clock was a good thing, but I'm still a little bit sick. So, guys, if you have any question in the chat, pop them up right now. Usually I try to do at least an hour, but if I'm feeling sick, I don't want to burn myself out. And the reason that we're doing these live stream is to help people. So always good to have a chat with you guys. Don't get me wrong here. I'm always having fun reading your question about anything that we're doing here. Talking about my preamp, talking about stuff that we're passionate about. Actually, I'm passionate about all those things. But the basic reason of why we're doing this is to help out people. If somebody like Daniel needs to have a question answered, we'll do it. If not, we're just going to move on for today. I want to keep this stream interesting. It's slowly turning into a podcast, so we'll see. Manu, do you see a lot of sound quality difference between the Wing and the X32? Yes, but it's not a straight answer, meaning I'm using my Wing, my personal Wing, with the DL251. The X32 that I'm daily driving is using the local preamp. There is a major, like we're talking about 5 times the price between the two consoles. So, I don't know. Patrick, I wonder what an X32 with its 4880 chips replaced with OPA chips would sound like. Really interesting question. Anybody in the chat here can have the tools to do this, because right now I'm looking a lot of video on YouTube about repairing computer component. I believe this is the future. We will need to know how to fix stuff, and fixing stuff has changed. Back in the day, a few years ago, you could fix pretty much everything with a soldering iron if you knew what you're doing. Now everything is surface mount. So I'm trying to learn the surface mount stuff, how to change that. I got a question for you. Can anybody here in the chat, with the right tool, do a change on a single board, like a 8 preamp? Because I'm gonna guess it's probably It's probably a matter of putting the board and changing a couple chips. Can anybody do like a board of 8 preamp on an X32? Replace whatever component that need to be replaced, the ADDA chip and the preamp stuff with good ones, and put that back into a console and see if you hear a difference? My guess is going to be yes, because I can hear a difference between the DL251 and the X32 preamp. So, do we have somebody that want to do it and maybe offer the mod? Can you, like, for a few $100 upgrade on X32 to make it sound good? Asking the question. You guys tell me. I'm gonna say SideJob production. Is it possible to connect the FL Studio with the wing? I'm gonna guess. Yes, the answer is yes. You can connect your console with actually any DAW. The only thing that you will have a harder time to get working perfectly, and hear me out when I say perfectly, is when you are talking about the DAW interface. So when we go into setup here, surf remote, is it remote? No, I'm a DAW. There we go. There are presets available for a few DAW here, but if your DAW is not listed, you can just simply create a preset out of nowhere. You can just load the default one, and here you have, option to create a MCU from Mackie. Create to MCU Mackie with an extender in your software. If you can add that in your software, it will work. And this is only for the control on the console, meaning the remote control for the fader. If we're talking about audio, USB over audio, yes, it will work with every single computer out there. Mac, PC, Linux, any DAW of your choice, as long as it has the capability to talk to USB, that will work. So it could be Audacity, it could be Logic, Cubase, anything that is listed over there, Pro Tool, Ableton Live, Nuendo, cancel that, Studio One. It's all gonna work. Actually, I'm a Logic user, so I'm gonna load that Logic. So it's just mapping that is made for you in the console, but it doesn't stop you to use just a random one and, use it. So Patrick is liking the idea, I think, of changing the preamp. So, okay. You guys know this stuff more than I do. I'm just using console. My job is to, keep in mind, my job is to mix band. I, by default, learn network, audio, video, lighting, and stuff like that. But what I really wanted to do when I was a kid is mixing band. Now, as an adult, 20 years down the road, I've learned all these other skills to just mix bands at the end of the day. So, there we go. All right. Well, guys, it's always a pleasure to have you around. I know today's live stream is a little shorter than usual. I may do another one this week because next Monday, I'm letting you know, next Monday, I'm out on a gig. I do not have time to make it to the live stream. I had to take the money. I had to choose the money over you guys. I'm so sorry. I need to make a living and pay for this house. So, okay. Oh no. I just realized that I still didn't fix that stupid knob here to send you guys out. Okay. Great question that we had today. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, ring the notification bell so you know every time that we are live. It will send you an alert. Every time that I'm posting a video, it will send you also an alert. If you want to support me in what I do like Chris that was here today, become a member or a super member of the channel. And now I'm going to try to send you out. I don't remember if I fixed that from last week or not, but I will do my best to send you guys out. Until the next one, I want you guys to please have a good week. And I see you really soon, 2 weeks from now. The knob is not working, so I will have to go out and check it out myself. See you guys. Have a good one.